This is Bernie Sanders, one of my favorite people. I think I like Bernie Sanders for a total of like 3 weeks. I think like back in 2016, I was like, yeah, this is my guy for like 3 weeks. And then I was like, EBT actually doesn't really work. Or UBI or whatever. And then I was like, okay, this guy's kind of a snake. All right, let's just play this. This is Bernie Sanders right after the address of Congress, I believe, where Donald Trump, I think during the speech, he mentioned something about how they've uncovered checks being printed out to 100 people who are 150 to 200 years old. So some serious fraud in government, some serious overspending. That is not an accident in my mind. So the fact that he's uncovering that, I think is brilliant. I fucking love that he did that. That, like I always say with government, like I think it's easy as the anarchist to say, oh, hey, we don't want that. We don't want any kind of government. But I think it's also important to understand that government's inevitable. There will always be a form of government controlling people. It's not about that. It's about what's right? But when that machine, when that entity works in a positive way, I think it's important to acknowledge that. Because I think any anarchist would say that if there's a government enacting that is like truly peaceful, that is truly not imposing its will on the people, or at least to a very, 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 very minimal extent, that's still positive than whatever reality we are living in now, or a worse reality like, Maoist China or communist Russia or whatever. So let's just play this clip. This is Bernie. Yeah, we'll just let this speak for itself.
Are going out to people who earned those checks. 70 million Americans. Nobody who was 150 years old or 200 years old or 300 years old is receiving Social Security checks.
Not one? One? Bernie. Not a single one? Are you fucking kidding me? This would have been more believable if you had said like, well, is way lower. Is way lower than what you think. That was actually pretty good. If he had said that would have at least been believable. That would have at least been like, okay, maybe he's telling the truth. One? Bernie! Not one? Are you fucking kidding me? This guy is such a fucking fraud. I cannot stand Bernie Sanders. Fucking so many people in my generation still love him. They're like, oh, old, gentle, sweet Bernie. Bernie would never heard of. The guy who had a bird land on his podium. You think he would do something wrong? What? Impossible! Yeah, fuck Bernie, man. But I guess is there any more worth of this watching? Let's see.
And on the lies go.
Lie.
Now, the purpose of all of this lying is not just to push his hateful right-wing ideology. It is not just to try to divide us up. It is more than that. It is a masterful effort, and you saw that tonight, to deflect attention away from the most important issues facing the people of our country.
Talk about
issues that Trump and his billionaire friends do not want to address.
Talk about deflecting the issue. Holy shit. Did you see them? Did you see them in that Congress floor holding up signs and like just refusing to stand, refusing to applause, booing at times, which I don't really give a fuck. Like, if you want to boo during that shit, like, I don't really give a fuck. I actually find it more entertaining, because that's all it really is for me, is entertainment, those speeches. But I mean, if you're gonna act like this, if you're gonna be like, what? He's gonna talk about deflecting. He's gonna talk about You are deflecting, motherfucker. Like, there's actual fraud being released and being and all these, but all you can do is scream lie, 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 lie. Bernie's a mouthpiece. Bernie is a Democrat. He's no different than Elizabeth Warren or whatever, right? Like any of those, Chuck Schumer, none of them. Like he's no different from any of those fucking Democrat heads.